Hey guys, welcome to D-Law. On today's episode, we're going to be taking Reddit questions and giving legal advice to some of the things you want to know about. Wow, throwaway. You've got an interesting situation. What a dilemma. When your medical professional, your doctor, has released information online that you have specifically told them not to release. You've got some concerns there, but one of the first things that you should probably do is go back and check those papers. What were the documents that you signed? Did you give them consent? HIPAA law suggests that they have to have your specific permission to release information as related to you. That's going to be as related to your medical records. And my guess is what most of the doctors and professionals do is they also get your specific agreement to post your information online. If you've given your specific permission to do that, you're going to have an issue, okay? So it's something that I would certainly read the documentation that you've signed and get something to them in writing suggesting, hey, you do not have my permission to do this, and get an answer from them with regards to what to do. Again, if you've signed your rights away and you've done it in writing, you may have a problem getting that offline. Sorry. Okay. Like I'm a newscaster or something. Okay. Busy gnome. Okay, you've got a question with regards to being rear-ended and the other person refuses to give you the information. Maybe you should run over to their car and grab them and shake them. No, don't do that, okay? Talk calmly with regards to, hey, listen, this has happened. Let's exchange information as the law requires us to, and try and get them to just calmly give you the information. However, if they refuse to, let them know that if you don't give me your information, I will have to call the police and let them know that you're not cooperating with me. In most situations, people will comply. People get scared, especially when you start talking about getting the police or the authorities involved. If they do not want to give you their information, it's okay. Contact your insurance company and attorney to help you with that and resolve it that way. It'll take more time, it'll take more effort, it's more problematic, but at least you're keeping safe and moving on with your life. Okay, that was decent. Not good, but decent. Okay, more weight. A lawyer told you that you have a hopeless case. Well, in my opinion, that lawyer is hopeless because that conclusion is ridiculous. Anytime you are working for a company and you get abused while doing your job, you're within the scope of your employment. So you have a claim against somebody. If you go off premises to another location and it happens there, you potentially have a claim against where it happened. If there was some potential duty to protect you, to look out for you, to look out for your best interest, if there was a negligent supervision issue of sorts, you certainly potentially have a claim against at that particular location. Your duties as an employer to protect and look out for your employee do not extinguish or go away once you step off site. If that were the case, people would be going off site doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's ridiculous. You have to protect your employees at all times, whether they're on your premises or not. You're still within the scope of your employment and you still deserve protections under the law. Check with another lawyer. That lawyer is an idiot. And I think he's reached the absolute wrong conclusion. If you've been abused, do something about it. Tell other people, get to the right conclusion, which is you getting some justice. That's D-Law. Johnny, you tall? Should I stay or should I go?
Should I stay or should I go?
Should I take the settlement or should I sue? That depends. Is the offer that's on the table, is it reasonable? Is it fair? Do you deem this to be a fair resolution for your circumstances? Our job as lawyers is to get you the best offer on the table, okay? And then what we do is come to you as the client and say, hey, this is my recommendation. Here are the circumstances. Here's the risks as we move forward. But here's what I suggest that we do. But ultimately, Johnny Utah, you have to make the decision. What's in the best interest of yourself and your company, okay? I'm always glad with clients. If they want us to take this all the way to trial, let's do it. That's what we go to law school for. That's what we put on the boxing gloves with these insurance companies to get clients what they're entitled to. But most times, we're able to resolve things outside of court. So again, Johnny, it all depends on how you feel, on the numbers, on the advice that you're being given by your legal professional. Judging from the totality of the circumstances, what's your answer there? Because you can reach the right one. You should make the right decision based upon the circumstances. Get all the information, sit down with your lawyer, and make the decision that's best for you and your family. Okay, table, child abuse situations. How do I report those across state lines? That's a great question, and it's an important question because what we're seeing, especially since COVID, there is so much child abuse that's going on, and it's really important that we get involved, ask questions, do things to make sure we're protecting the children. Okay, here in Texas, what you would do is called Child Protective Services, CPS, okay? Because their duty is to come in, to investigate, to check out the facts, see what the landscape looks like, and to make sure that the best interests of the child's needs are being served. In other states, they have these are statewide entities, okay? So each state maybe has a different derivation with regards to how they spell it, but at the end of the day, there's a state agency that you would contact to make sure that there's no child abuse that's going on or the child's needs are being protected. So I would contact your authorities in your particular state, maybe the police department or Google to figure out, okay, who do I speak with? But report those issues to your version state of the Child Protective Services to make sure that child is being protected. And please, okay, table, stay on it, okay? It's kind of a pain. Things sometimes work slow, but ultimately our job is to protect our children. So if you know something or even suspect it, get it investigated, get it looked at, and let's just make sure nothing bad is happening. Thank you, okay, table. Good luck to you. Spiritual hurry. Never, never, never sign an agreement in blank. And what do I mean by that? Whenever you sign something, you need to make sure you know the specifics of what you're doing, what you're giving away. What is the bargain for exchange, okay? Because here's the deal, guys. Once you sign on the line that is dotted, your case is, it's over, it's settled. So if you misunderstood something was unclear, there was something that you weren't sure about, you damn sure better get it. And don't get it just over the phone. Get it in writing, okay? It has to be in writing. It has to be clear. It has to be overt with regards to what the bargain for exchange is with regards to a contract, okay? Insurance companies are not there for your best interest. They are there to figure out, what is the smallest amount of consideration? Consideration, another legal term, consideration, when they're giving you something for something in return. In other words, let me give you this money so you'll sign this release to let us off the hook so you don't take us to court, okay? Those terms and agreements have to be overt, they have to be in writing, they have to be crystal clear within the four corners of your agreements, okay? If you don't know what you're signing, you don't know what you're agreeing to, don't sign anything. Thick, cute cat. This is the reason why you have insurance, okay? So in this situation, you've been injured, but the other party is saying you were at fault. You disagree. You want to fight. The good thing about it, you don't have to fight by yourself. This is the purpose of insurance. In a situation where you have a dispute with another party, where you've been involved in an accident, the reason why you have insurance is to obviously to make you whole as much as possible, to look out for other people's damages, if in fact you are responsible. But the other thing that's really important is your insurance company has a duty to defend you, to fight you, to look out for you, to protect you, okay? Whereas if you believe that you were not at fault, they have an ultimate duty to protect you and go to court on your behalf should the need present itself. Thank God you've made the good decision to get insurance, because this exactly is what it's for. Unfortunately, you have a problem, okay? Because again, in this situation, you have a circumstance where you've been involved in an accident with someone, and someone is pointing the finger at you. You're saying, no, I wasn't at fault, it's the other person, okay? So typically speaking, from a legal perspective, what you typically do is essentially, you kind of throw out the statement of the defendant, you throw out the statement of your own position, and you look for independent third parties. Are there other witnesses that are involved who can give you an independent assessment as to what happened in this situation and circumstances? If you don't have that, then the next thing you do is you look at the police report, okay? And once you've given your statement to the police officer, they're going to make an incident report, they're going to file a police report, and they're typically going to assess fault with regards to, in my opinion, although I was not there at the scene, I had an opportunity to investigate it, and I've come to the conclusion that you were at fault or you were not, okay? And typically speaking, insurance companies, juries, judges, they take those things very seriously. So in a case where the police officer disagrees with you, then you've got an uphill battle, okay? Which means typically what you may have to do is contact the officer and contact the officer and contact the officer, because many times when you try and call them, they don't call you back. And you may have to call their supervisor and ask for an appointment and speak with them and say, officer, this is why you were wrong. Because what you're looking for is to try and get an amendment to the police report so that you have a stronger leg to stand on. Those things do happen from time to time, but unless you get those things fixed and altered on the record, you got a big problem on your hands. Chris Daru, calm down, you're gonna be okay, okay? This is exactly why you have insurance, okay? And tell your mom she's going to be safe, okay? You were exactly correct. The first thing you need to do is call your insurance company. Let them know what happened. Let them know this son of a gun tried to flee the scene and only turned around thereafter. Make sure they're aware of that situation. But let's look at the rest of this situation. If in fact your mom did cause the accident, which it sounds like it might be the case, do not worry, okay? Lawyers are smart. Ding. Lawyers are smart, which means I've been practicing for 23 years, okay? And one of the things I figured out a long time ago is that do not go after someone beyond their policy limit. Unless they've got millions of dollars of property and all this money in their accounts, we do not want to waste thousands of dollars going after a pot of gold that we're never going to get paid on, okay? And so what I'm telling you is this: 99.999% of the time, the lawyer is going to be focused on the insurance, and that's it. They'll do some research to find out what other assets that you've got. Once they do their research and they figure out that you're not Kim Kardashian, they're going to leave you alone. Okay, so tell your mom to calm down. There is nothing as related to jail. You did nothing wrong here. This is a civil issue. The worst thing that's going to happen is that you're going to get sued. You've been served with the papers, and you may have to do a deposition and possibly go to court. But even in those circumstances, the chance of you actually going to trial on a case like this is probably 1 in 5,000. So don't worry. No criminal, while there may be some criminal charges, which I haven't heard anything about, from everything that I read, there's nothing criminal here. So your mom is not going to jail, and you're going to have her at home for the foreseeable future. So those are some really interesting questions. And see, this is why I love being a lawyer, because I get different scenarios like this on a daily basis. So I'm always thinking. This brain is zip, 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 zip. It's always spinning with regards to figuring out what the best strategies are for my clients. So please keep those questions coming, keep those comments coming, and let us know what else you want us to research, what you want us to look out for, what you want to know more about, because we want to give it to you. Remember, you get into an accident, guys, always contact a lawyer. I don't care if you call me, call a lawyer, okay, to make sure you get good legal advice and to make sure you reach the right conclusion. Yes, you're going to have to pay a lawyer, but I'm telling you, 99% of the time, the result is going to be better for you once you have the best information and you follow the right strategy. We're at the end of the show. Thank you for watching. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for your comments. This is D. Miller, and this is D-Law. I'm attorney Darren Miller, and that's D-Law.